This little thing is awesome and a great tool, but it's not gonna work with every single type of vehicle wash solution. So viscosity matters. So this little contraption is the brand new style of a foam cannon available from a company called Real U, available on Amazon for about 20 bucks. Now, is this the best value foam cannon out there? At 20 bucks, it produces a ton of foam. And there are some really cool features to it, but there's also some negatives that I see, so we're gonna get into that here shortly. Now, I actually ordered this thing about 3 weeks, maybe a month ago, and I've been testing it out, using it on some vehicles. In that time, my buddy QUIVR, Cars with QUIVR, came out with a video on this thing, and he did a very, very good breakdown of all the specifics of this thing. Opened it up, showed you all the different components of it, which we will get to at the end of the video as well. But for my purposes, I really just wanted to talk about the real world usable case of this. Is it a pleasure to work with? Is it kind of a pain? Does it function the way it's supposed to? So let's go ahead and jump into that. So we're gonna jump out to me working on a vehicle and spraying this thing and testing out the runtime, because that was my biggest concern. The first time I ever used it, I blasted through product. It went through very, very quickly. They do include 2 different siphon tubes. One's larger, one's smaller. But it went through a lot of product, and that was my concern. I was like, okay, so let me set up a timer and actually test this out. I was able to rectify that problem. I have no issue with the runtime anymore. But a big, big, big thing to consider is the product that you're using. Now, if you're using a pH neutral soap, it's no problem at all, because the dilution ratio will be close enough and good. If you're using a really high alkaline product though, then dilution ratio, or they call it panel impact ratio, gets very, very, very important. And same with acidic shampoos. And that's where you really want to pay attention, and I would not personally use this for this. Every pressure washer is a little bit different. So when you set up your dilution in a normal foam cannon, you're mixing water in with it, you kind of have to do some math and figure out exactly where the impact ratio is going to be, or the, sorry, panel impact is going to be. And with this one, you only have 2 options. You have the larger siphon tube or the smaller siphon tube, and that's what you got. Another thing with the soaps that you have to consider is the viscosity of the soap. Again, it's gonna vary for each siphon tube. One's larger, one's smaller. But I had some issues with thicker viscosity soaps, with it kind of getting clogged up and kind of spurting, versus a more liquid soap. Didn't have that issue, but then it did fall through the siphon tube hole faster, and it didn't last as long. So there's a fine balance there, a little bit of a pain, but again, for 20 bucks, I think it's a fantastic little tool to have in your arsenal. Definitely worth the buy. Now let's go ahead and hop outside and I'll show you guys the use case. All right guys, so first up, we're gonna go ahead and use some new soap from Cerakote. The reason I'm using this one is just because it's a little bit thicker than the other one that we're gonna be using, which is Adam's Megafoam. That one's nice and runny. So I'm thinking with a thicker solution, it may need a different size siphon valve or the pickup tube, just because otherwise the thicker solution might get stuck through there. I don't know, but we're just gonna run it, see how long it takes for this to go all the way through the 80 milliliters that I put in here, or 80 milliliters. We're gonna flip it over and then we're gonna run it. Okay, so we're all flipped over, and here's my timer. Here we go. So as you can see, guys, the foam production is fantastic, if you can see that. But the first time I ever used this, I wasn't able to get around the whole car. I was using it on a, a Lincoln Navigator, and I couldn't get around the whole vehicle with it before I ran out of solution. This one, however, seems to be doing much, much better this time. Like significantly better already. So now we are getting some spurting through there, which isn't great, and we are losing some of the thickness of the foam, considerably. We're getting way runnier right now. This is not great. Started off great. Right now it's not great at all. It's getting very runny. As you can see, we still have solution in the tank, right? And it's feeding through, so we should be getting a consistent level. So that was 1 minute. That was essentially exactly 1 minute. We still have solution in there, but I'm thinking that the reason it's spurting through like that is because the little pickup valve, pickup tube, whatever they want to call it again, is getting clogged, right? That's the only thing I can think. So we're gonna go again. We're nice and thick again. So I'm assuming that the hole in that thing, again, the one that it comes with is larger than the one that they ship additional. I think it's just still too small for this viscosity of liquid, of the soap. So that's a very, very important thing to keep it in mind. The viscosity of the soap will change how this thing performs. So I'm just gonna keep on letting this run through, clear out the whole bottle. There we go, we're empty. Just gonna open this up and rinse it out. And then we'll switch over to Adam's Mega Foam and test that. Again, that is a much, much thinner solution. Let's see if it doesn't spurt out on us like that. All right, guys, next up, we have Adam's Mega Foam in here. Again, also filled up to exactly to the 80 milliliter mark. So again, this solution is much runnier. I'm hoping you won't have any clogging issues. That was a surprise to me. I didn't notice that when I first used this thing, just at a customer's house to test it out. I didn't notice it doing that spurting. Again, the solution I was using was thinner as well, so that wasn't the issue then. But again, I didn't have enough time to get through the whole vehicle with the solution that was in there. So it's kind of a balancing act, right? But anyways, let's go ahead and run this one now. Again, with the other one, we got a minute of runtime with a little bit left still, but it was malfunctioning at that point. So with this one, I'm hoping it doesn't malfunction, but I'm assuming it's gonna get less runtime, but we'll see. So let me flip it over and get the timer ready. Here we go. Guys, as always with Adam's Mega Foam, the foam production is insane. Absolutely incredible. I gotta say, we're not using as much solution as I thought. At all. I don't know why I wasn't able to get around the vehicle previous. Right now what are we at left? We're at about 25 milliliters left. Okay, here we go. We're just about empty. Just some leftover stuff. There we go. 47 seconds. 47 seconds. So, yes, the viscosity absolutely makes a difference. This one performed absolutely flawless, no issue there, but it didn't last as long as the other one because, again, it's a thinner liquid, it's passing through. Now, really quickly, I want to talk to you guys about the other siphon or pickup tube, whatever thing that they give you. It's somewhere under a 0.28. Tiny, 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 tiny. So I don't know. I was gonna test that one with this, but man, I guess we can. Let's do that. We'll test that other one just with the Adam's Mega Foam, not with the Cerakote wash, because because the viscosity is a little bit thicker, it's just not gonna work with this thing. This little awesome little tool is not gonna work for every car wash solution. All right, guys, so I just went ahead and changed out that little piece inside here. Again, so this is the smaller one. This is the one that is different. Mine came with a different size than what Keeve got. Mine's pink, his was green, but it's from the same listing. So different size. Back to 80 milliliters of Adam's Mega Foam again. So we're gonna test this and see the runtime. Again, I'm expecting the runtime to be increased because it's not gonna be passing through all that solution as fast. We'll see about the foam production, and then we will also see if it starts to get clogged up like the other one did with the thicker viscosity soap. So here we go. Let me get my timer ready. And here we go. All right, interesting, guys. One thing to note, right off the bat, the foam production is still great, but look. Can you see that and hear that? It's doing that spurting. So right now we're still, we got plenty of solution left. So I'm just gonna let it run. See if because right now it is spurting, so it does seem to be a little bit clogged, but not bad. It's still functioning. We're gonna see if it gets any worse than that though, because then it'll start to affect us. Right now, tons of foam, tons of runtime so far. Wow, tons of runtime. We are down to 60 milliliters, so we've gone through 20, and we're already at 40 seconds. So we're getting a lot of runtime out of this now. It is starting to spurt a little bit more, but still it's not clogged. We're good. We're now at 1 minute, so we're getting better functionality right now. This is the best performance we've gotten. Listen to that. Hopefully you can hear that. So runtime is no longer an issue here, guys, with this, at least with this combo of the solution and that new pickup tube. We are over 2 minutes. But we are, again, we're spurting. I don't even know if spurting is an actual word. But whatever that is, it is happening. We are now over 3 minutes. All right, guys, that is it. We are out of solution, started spraying water. 3 minutes and 48 seconds. That is a ton of runtime. That's actually quite impressive. Okay, guys, so there you go. As you can see, viscosity, extremely important. Again, when you're dealing with pH neutral soaps, I'm good with it. Higher pH stuff, lower pH stuff, this is not where I would go. I would want to be able to dial it in much, much better. Let's talk about the functionality, build quality of this thing. First time I ever used it, I pulled off the top to pour in my soap. Right away, there's a gasket in the lid here. It popped out, rolled under my truck, and I looked around for it forever. I could not find it until I was leaving the customer's house, pulled the truck away, and then I saw it and grabbed it. With that said, without the gasket, I had no issue. It was not a problem. Would it have leaked if I had put it upside down? Maybe, but for my use case, it was totally fine. So just keep that in mind. This thing is really just sitting in there, this little gasket. So make sure that you are cognizant of that so you don't lose it. Now the unit comes with one siphon tube pre-installed and one orifice already pre-installed inside here. Then you also get a bag that has a spare filter, a spare orifice, and a spare siphon tube. The orifice is the exact same size. The one installed and this one that are here are both 1.2 size orifices. So it's just an extra. It's not going to change anything. Additionally, you do get the little metal style mesh block style filter. So you get a second one of those, which is nice. But the differentiator here is in the siphon tube. The one that comes pre-installed, I actually got this pin gauge set. This is the exact same one that QUIVR uses, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to have consistency across the board as much as possible. We review a lot of the same items, and we're gonna get different results because we're in different parts of the country. So, speaking of pressure washers, the quality of water, the water pressure that's coming out of my hose, the power that's coming out of the wall could be different for me than it is for him over on the East Coast. I'm in the West Coast. So I wanted to minimize the discrepancies as much as possible. I reached out to him and I said, hey, which pin gauge set are you using? So this is the exact same one. With that said, the siphon tube that is pre-installed in the unit, he got it and it was the 0.024 pin, and that's the exact same thing for me. So same exact size there. The discrepancy comes from the additional one that they give you. His measured out at 0.015, which is very, very small. Mine, 0.015 is this little guy here. 0.011 is the smallest that it comes with, and even that would not pass through the hole. So mine was way smaller than that. It's the exact same unit that the one he covered. His was green, mine is pink, but it's from the same exact listing. It's the same unit. So there is a discrepancy. Now when we talk about the overall design of this thing, it is weird, right? Compared to what we're used to, normally the bottle is down here. This one, it sits up here. Now it's not terrible. It stays upright pretty well, but if you're kind of going across, it will toss over. Even when the system is pressurized, it did kind of tumble over on me. Again, not the end of the world, just pop it back up and you're good to go, but it is something to note. Now the functionality of the foam cannon is great. You have two pieces here, right? So you have the white, which is going to control your spray pattern, so from like 0 to 60 degrees or so, and then the pink one you spin here and that changes it from vertical to horizontal. So all the functionality of like a higher end foam cannon is here with this thing. It's nice. It also has a great amount of texture to it, so it's easy to grab onto. Even if you have soapy, slippery hands, it's easy to grab onto. The thing that I don't like about the design of this is, again, the one thing where it sits on top is a little bit annoying because it can fall, but not the end of the world. When you open it up, if you're just using a standard like 16-ounce bottle, it's easy enough to pour in your solution. And I did that with the first soap, the Cerakote soap, but with the other soap, the Adams Megafoam, I have that in the gallon size, and I'm trying to pour that in. And obviously I have to hold this because if I put it down, it just topples over. But this is the side that has a nice wider opening so you can fill it a bit easier. If you were to go to the other side, Okay, so let's put that down and then go to this side. Now I can stand it up, and this is how I was able to do it. I stood it up here and then poured it in, but now we're back to a really, really small neck opening. And that's the whole, like, I mean, all the foam cannons now are being made with wider openings so you can fill your solution much easier. But with that said, no matter how you want to fill this thing, they did a cool job of labeling with milliliters right here. So it's labeled 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, all the way up to 80 here. And if you flip it over, they have it flipped as well, all the way up to 100. Oh, okay, gotcha. It starts at 30 and then goes to 100. So obviously you're gonna be above that mark anyway. So they did a great job with that. Now when we talk about filters, they can get clogged over time, and this thing has a really, really cool feature that I may even adopt on future iterations of my foam cannon, because this is really cool. Typically, in order to do that, there's a little pin here, you have to pop that out and then the cone slips off. This one, you can see a little separation line right here. You can just back this off. It screws out, which is really, really convenient. And then your filter is sitting right there. If you look here, this is like the pin style normally. You see this little piece, and that's where you'd back that out. With this one, it's really nice. You just do that, screw it off, and it's good to go. Now where the orifice sits is the same as any other foam cannon. You just back off the quick connection point, and then the orifice sits right in there. It's really easy to change out. You just take a flathead screwdriver, stick it in there, there's a little slot, you back it out, put the new one in. Super, super simple. And last but not least, if you're looking at changing out the siphon tube piece, that's very easy to do as well. So all you do is simply remove the bottle, okay? And here is the siphon tube right here. It has a little hex key right here, and they give this to you. You can just simply put it in and then twist it out, okay? It spins right out. When you do that, this whole headpiece is gonna come off, okay? So then you can take the siphon tube, just push it up, comes out. Also, don't lose the gasket, but then there's your siphon tube and you can replace it. Same thing, you can pop it back in here. As you're done, put back in the gasket, and then go ahead and this side, take the siphon tube, plop it in the hole, and then you just kind of seat it down and then use your hex key again to tighten this whole thing up. So what are my overall thoughts of this thing? At 20 bucks, it gets a phenomenal amount of foam. You do want to play with these things. It's not like ready to go out of the box for everyone. You're going to have to make some adjustments. But for $20, I think it's well worth having in your arsenal. I will note though, as I was washing my van earlier today, I had it all set up how I like it, you know, from previous tests, and it was still spurting a little bit. So I don't know if again, the hole size in the siphon tube is so small, it's very, very easy to get clogged up. So when you're using this thing, you have to be diligent about rinsing this thing out and getting all that stuff out, or you're gonna have issues and it's gonna get clogged up pretty quickly over time. So for me, is it my go-to foam cannon now? No, it's not. I'm still gonna stick to, you know, my traditional foam cannons. Obviously my QUIVR foam cannon, if you haven't seen that, I have my own foam cannon. Gets an insane amount of foam, fantastic price. I'll link it down in the description for you guys. But this, I think, is a really cool option as a backup, especially for your pH neutral soaps. Also, I think I would like to see more pressure washer companies adopt this as opposed to just the kind of soap blasters that they include, because those are all pretty bad. I would much rather see this come with the units. You know, it's small enough to package in. So hopefully someone will adopt that and start doing that. But that's it for today's video, guys. Again, I'll link this down in the description for you guys so you can get this. I do think it's a really cool little item. And at 20 bucks, it's a great way to go for the budget conscious person. So that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed, turn on that notification bell, and we will see you on the next one.